forgot to do the gavel, finally. I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Tony, could you take the roll, please?
Sure. Hutchins?
Here.
Martin?
Here.
McBride?
Here.
Coster?
Here.
Feeney?
Here.
Grugo?
Here.
Miskovich?
Here.
Okay. Everyone's here. So we're going to move on to the consent agenda, which includes the agenda and the minutes for September. All items listed under consent agenda are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the Holly Township Park Commission and will be approved by a one motion. There will be no separate discussion. If discussion is required, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed separately immediately after consent agenda in its normal sequence on the regular agenda. I would like to entertain a motion to pass the consent agenda, approve the consent agenda. So moved.
Sean, I think we need to update September to October.
Okay.
You
So
need to,
would that change?
oh, sorry.
That's okay.
And can I just say something about the minutes?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of it, it says that Grugel
Yeah,
adjourned the meeting.
I changed it already, but you had already printed it out.
Okay.
Support. Or
Motion.
so moved.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, we are now moving on to bills for payment after the October meeting and November. And let's do the financial statement all at one time. I would like to entertain a motion that we pay the bills and approve the financial statement.
I motion that we pay the bills and the financial statement.
Wait a second, okay. Paying the bills.
Hutchins, Martin?
Yes.
McBride?
Yes.
Coster?
Yes.
Feeney?
Yes.
Grugo?
Yes.
Miskovich?
Yes.
And Hutchins.
Yes.
Okay, moving right along to public comment. Members of the public can address the board once recognized by the chairperson. For items on the agenda only, comments are limited to a maximum of 4 minutes. The board may extend this time by up to an additional 4 minutes by a majority vote. Prior to addressing the board, members of the public shall clearly state their name and address for the record. We have public comment? Okay, moving on. We are going on to old business. Under A, we have the disc golf agreement with Patrick.
All right, well, the last time around, I was hoping to hear from anybody that had any suggestions on what they thought should be on there. I didn't have a lot. I thought pretty much what I had in mind were some pretty basic rules, and I just thought, I'll just go over them real quick to see what anybody thinks of them. Under what I believe that the disc golf group needs to provide to us is, number one, a contact person and a telephone number that we can deal with directly, so we have one person to deal with there. Second would be that they give us at least, now this, I'm putting out a time on here, but Tony explained, I think at the last meeting, that when they come up with their tournaments, they come up to at a year out there. But considering the fact that, things can change during the year, something could come up, I was going to say if they gave us 90 days, approval, so, being a little flexible. So, I don't want to sit there and say, okay, at the beginning of the year, you got to have everything you've ever thought of lined up there, because, second, if they're going, or third, I should say, the Parks Board would have any approval over days that they chose to have like league play. And that's just so we don't, come up with something at the same time. Like we had the softball, we wouldn't want them, most likely, although it would look great to have that number of people in the park, we probably don't want to have it on the same night. So, it's like not discouraging them from having league play. It would just be that we would have to say on what day, or approval, I should say. I shouldn't say, but approval on it, just on that one. Fourth, I think we should at least have representatives from the disc golf come before us at least once a year. Just kind of give us an outline, what's going on, who's involved. And that's the case too if they have a changeover in personnel, people, different people getting involved, since it is a volunteer organization. When it comes to actual tournaments, that they would be responsible for any damage to equipment during that tournament and cleanup. That's, something I think when I've looked on their sites on, where they've participated and had tournaments in other places, they've done that. They've done a good job cleaning up. But it's just one of those things where I think, the public, should know that we're expecting that from them, And the other would be on that too is that when we'd have to come up with, now the amount had been tossed around about $5 for when they have tournaments per person. Now I don't know if that was something in cement or how that was, but whatever fees that we would get from the disc golf group would be given to us, and it would be put in a designated fund strictly for the disc golf. It wouldn't just go into our general fund. So in other words, if they're going to give us $3 to $5, whatever the amount is, that we would tell them it's going right and it's going to be used strictly for the disc golf. Our part would be obviously maintaining it all other times of the year on that, exercising our rights to, upgrade, keep everything clean and maintain it and that. We would promise that, if there was any need to change or alter that, they would be obviously consulted. I think we need to make that clear to them that, they're not going to show up sometime, we decided to put something else in here. So I think that, I think that's only fair that we put that in some type of agreement. Those are the only things I could come up with that I thought. I didn't know if anybody else had any other ideas or something they want to add to it.
Sean,
Tony?
is it okay? Can I
Yeah.
speak? I met with them, and I wrote up an agreement, and we can obviously add some other things to it. It addresses a lot of what you've addressed. They're still feeling very threatened by the agreement. I think I wrote it. Hang on, I got what you want. Do I have two of these? No. Hang on a second. Yep. They're feeling very threatened by the fact that you want an agreement with them. They have
Tony, can I ask you something? Maybe you should have asked them to come, because it's not meant to threaten, and, by no
I've
means do I
explained
want
that
them
to
to
them.
feel uneasy about it.
I've explained that to them, Patrick. So, but anyways, if you look at what I just handed out to you,
Question, why did you not put this in our packet?
because
Well, number one, I didn't get a packet, so that really wouldn't have been.
I left you a packet at your house, Patrick, in the same place I have left you a packet every single time.
Okay, oh, that's fine, that's fine.
And if you
Okay.
didn't get one, why didn't you call me and ask for one?
Because you know what? Been at the hospital for the last week with my daughter.
Okay.
And quite frankly, I've had my other daughter looking on the porch for it. It's quite possible, Tony, it did get knocked off the porch. That
Okay,
is
I
a
slid it in
possibility.
behind your
Okay.
thing like I always say.
Okay, let's get back
Back
to
to
the
the
task
point,
at
back
hand,
to the
please.
point is, this should have been presented to us so we could have looked it over beforehand. That's just, and that's not, feeling, that's what should have been done. Two, on this, if they had some concerns, yes, I wish they would have come before us, because you're expressing that they're, I don't know where they would think, having to some kind of agreement, us expressing what we're going to do and what we expect from them. You just went through here, and quite frankly, I'm going to read this. I will read through this. But,
I'm gonna-
I don't think
excuse
what I presented.
I was still
I
talking.
don't think what I presented and what I had been saying the last couple of weeks I find it kind of hard that they would have found that anyway threatening, okay? All right.
Pat,
Well,
Sean,
I'm
can
just
I
gonna
speak?
read
Okay,
it.
Tony.
I'm sorry, but, I guess I would say, Pat, the same thing to you, which is you didn't give your ideas to the board at all in writing.
I did. I spoke to the board and I asked people if they had their opinion.
You spoke to every
You-
member
you
of the board?
spoke-
Okay,
I spoke at a.
Okay,
No,
Pat.
hold on. I spoke
No.
at the meeting.
you don't tell me to hold on, sir.
I apologize. But this is, you know.
What I did was I took what was said at the last meeting and put it down. That's what I thought I was supposed to do.
$25, where'd that come in at?
That's just a standard fee for how much.
That did not come up at the meeting.
Right. We can
That
change
needs to
any of
come up-
this.
no, Fine, move on.
It-
I'm done speaking.
Tony, has this been presented to the Flint Town Flyers already?
Yes,
It has.
yes.
Okay. Is it possible that we could table this until next month, have them come in here, and maybe have a joint effort to create
Sure.
an agreement
Yeah, I mean,
that would be feasible to make them feel comfortable and all parties involved feel
right.
comfortable?
Their concerns, I mean, are just simply they're a voluntary organization.
Right.
They don't have an agreement with any of the places they work. They checked with other clubs. None of them have an ongoing agreement. There may be an agreement for a rental, but there's not an ongoing agreement between their club and us. And, you know, I'm not trying to like step on Pat's feet or anybody else's. All of his concerns could be added to this. I picked the amount, which is the amount pretty much of a maintenance person with all of, you know, Social Security and all of that added on. And with the understanding that for the Flint Town Flyers, there's really never going to be a fee for this because they care.
Right.
Their concern, even though they're the ones that originally talked about the money, was that it's really hard for them to run a tournament and then have to put money out. However, I can't run a tournament on my own. It takes several people. They're more than willing to, in lieu of them paying, help me run a tournament. So with all of the money from that tournament going to our parks
All right.
for
Well,
whatever we want to spend it on,
If,
So that was rather than the $5.
rather than the $5, yeah.
Per person. and
Right.
the tournament they ran.
That's fine, but when
So-
was that discussed with this board?
I brought it to you right now, Patrick. I'm bringing it to you now.
You brought it to us right now. That's exactly the point. Why
Okay.
not, why would these, if you had these ideas before, why weren't they not brought up at the last meeting when it was discussed?
I've been waiting for them to get back to me. They got back to me actually
So
on.
you just told us they approved it.
Will you
No.
let her answer?
Okay.
Thank you.
okay. I'd like to make a motion to
I
table
can
this till
ask
next
them to
month,
co-
please.
to
And
call-
No, I think we should vote on it because this is, she said she's got an agreement with them.
I don't have a-
Let's put it to rest. You told us that they agreed upon this.
Yes,
so
they
let's-
looked
I
at
say
this
we
and this is
vote on
what
this and just go
they
with it.
they thought would be
You know,
great.
let's
But
just
we
get
can
out.
add your concerns, Pat.
No, you went ahead and put stuff
Okay,
in that we did
okay.
not discuss.
okay. Let's calm down here, take a breath.
Now, you know what, we have to remember who makes decisions on this and who is to ask and to work with the other group to come to an agreement on something. Not to come up with, I think this is right, now here it is. And that's the way it's presented. I see that anybody want to disagree with me that we should be the ones making the final decision?
John,
Yes.
everybody go home tonight, before they go to bed, get their Webster dictionary and look out what the difference between legislative and administrative is. That's administrative.
Then it
Our
should have been
job-
done before.
Pat,
We
I'm
should have
recognizing Joe right now.
had- Okay.
Our job is to give her direction, as a board, the majority rules, and tell her, seek out an agreement. It isn't up to us. We can sit there and then she's gotta come up with it, which we got tonight, and we can add to it, we can discuss it, we can do everything else, we can turn it upside down and backwards. We're legislative, not administrative. This agenda is full of administrative acts through the legislative body. Everybody's got to go home with their little dictionary and find out what the difference between legislative and administrative is and knock it off. That's what we're paying her for. She's administrative. We tell her we're going out the front door. She's got to make sure we got a clear path to go that way and lock it. Not us, her.
Okay.
And she does not have the right to make rules on our legislative body. There's a division, and everybody's got to learn this. And the sooner they learn it, the less of this baloney goes on.
Okay.
That's all I have to say on that issue. So we have it in front of us tonight.
And we're supposed to pass it. Yep,
No.
That's exactly what we're gonna.
No.
Ron, I see that, I have disturbed you, and I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but we've been going on this, and you're gonna tell me these ideas were brought up to us at the last meeting. They were? Okay, I guess I missed it. Thank you. And I disagree with you, Joe, that when it comes to agreements, that everything that, if that were the case, then she should have presented it to us and said, this is the way we do it. It's been asked to been done, and it hasn't been. This has gone on for a couple months now.
Okay. Here's what I like to do. I like to make a motion that we table this till next month. I would like to hear from the Flint Town Flyers themselves about what they do with other disc golf parks as far as this goes, and be able to decide from that point on where we're going to go with an agreement with the Flint Town Flyers. Could I get a second?
I put out that motion that we
Okay.
wait, until, for next month and everybody go over this and has a chance. And, I do think there better be a little bit more respect on this board.
Okay.
Well, there should be a little bit more knowing what's asked and what's expected from individuals too.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a motion on the
We have a
floor.
motion. Call the
Keep it in
question.
between person.
Okay, so Donna, you made the motion?
Yes, I made the
I'll
motion.
second.
Thank you.
Okay, Tony, can we get an individual vote, please?
Sure. McBride,
Yes.
Coster,
This is just for tabling it?
Tabling it?
Okay.
Yes.
Feeney,
Yes.
Bruegel,
Yes.
Miskovich,
Yes.
Hutchins,
Yes.
and Martin.
Yes.
Okay, so it's agreed. We'll table it till next month. Tony, please try to get the Flint Town Flyers in here so we can have some discussion with them as well.
Yep.
All right, continuing on with old business. Report on the summer and fall softball program. Patrick.
What I asked, and I asked in the email when I sent the agenda, I'd like a full financial report on it. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. And as you remember, Sean, when I called you, it was really ambiguous about whether we had a fall softball program. I had people calling me, and quite frankly, would you like to say that you knew there was a soft?
I told you there was a fall
Yeah,
softball league.
yeah, after it was asked if what we had on the fall softball program. We haven't really gotten, I'd like to see written down what we had, numbers wise, what we had. That's all I'm asking.
Tony, do we have that report, or could we get that report?
Sure. Take one and pass it down, Jim.
Tony, have the teams expressed interest in coming back next year?
Yes, very much so. They're all very thrilled with it. We went from 4 teams to 6 teams, which I believe I reported in September, but I don't have the minutes in front of me to show that.
Financials, that's what I was asking for. You did report on it, you said it was successful.
You just said
You
that.
did.
I'm not even gonna get in a fight with you, Patrick, because you're just looking for one with me, so, in front of you, you'll see, basically, this is an honest breakdown. I think I handed you, was there an extra one?
No.
Okay.
Tony, you can, I've studied mine.
I don't know what I
Wait,
did with
it
mine.
says
I
one.
have them, I just gotta figure out where I put them, sorry. You had 4 teams in the spring at $350 each. That brought in $1,400 in revenue. We increased that to 6 teams in the fall at 2,100, so that brought in 3,500 total for the seasons. You'll see trophies, summer and fall separated. I bought chalk. It lasted the entire season. I had to replace a pitching mound because someone stole ours. And umpiring supplies, I handed out clickers and stuff to our umpires. And then you'll see how much it costs to line and drag the field for the spring and how much it costs for the fall. Our biggest expense was setting up and tearing down the fields in the prep, simply because in the past, Little League was supposed to have maintained it, was supposed to come back and maintain it, and never did. So it took us quite a while to get the fields back under control. I put down mowing the fields 45 minutes times the 12 weeks, because if we were to mow the fields and we didn't have leagues going on, we would probably not have mowed them every single week. So that's half of the mowing of the fields, and none of the mowing of the rest of the park. And then the Porta-Johns, the cost of the Porta-Johns being there because the softball teams were there. So it came out that you made $116.38. Not included in here would be my time for registering the teams, my time for keeping track of the league wins and losses and mediating, all of that stuff. So I would say we had a successful spring, fall softball. We've already been talking about what days they want to play on next year and a way in which we're going to try to make it happen. I think we're going to try to do like a Tuesday, Thursday league. Cyclone, I don't know if any of you have been to Cyclone, but Cyclone is a nightmare. The village hasn't maintained that at all. And so there is no more option of playing under the lights there, which we used to do because they disconnected their lights. So in order to really get the games in, we could have an 8-team league if we played on 2 days a night. We had a 6-team league with 4 teams playing on Thursday and 1 team playing on Friday this last time, just simply because that's what kind of worked out. But I think it would be better if we were able to do a Tuesday, Thursday, and if that filled up, then we could do a Monday, Wednesday.
Cool.
Okay?
I got a quick question.
Sure.
For the money for the hours that were paid,
Mm-hmm.
who did that money go to?
It did, well, some of it would be my time. Some of it would be, I did have a maintenance person who lined and dragged the fields and stuff for most of the seasons, and that would account for their pay.
Okay, but so we pay you on top of your.
No, you're not paying.
Okay.
I'm just
trying
yeah,
to.
no, Kurt. I'm just breaking it down so you can see a true cost of what it really costs to run it, as opposed to. So, no, I'm not getting paid any extra on top of it.
Okay, so this is just who we paid out? This is not anything that would have went to you, right?
It would have been part of my salary, but it isn't an addition to my salary.
So what you're saying is hours spent.
Yes. So some of it is my hours spent, and
But
it's
then that doesn't tie into the revenue. I mean, that shouldn't be an expense then.
sure because you run the it's what it really costs you to run the league. If I mow the fields, then that's what it costs you to run the league.
No, because that's part of maintaining the parks, period, right? That's not on top of just because we run a league. We still have to maintain those fields and everything.
Right. Well, we wouldn't line and drag them every week. We wouldn't mow the fields every week. We would mow the fields every other week.
So, Kurt, I see what she's saying. What she's saying is it's the true cost of what's being.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
So, okay. Any other questions on the financial report from softball? Okay. All right, moving on. We're going to C, the disc golf report with Tony.
So where we stand right now with the disc golf course is that the front 9 is in. All of the baskets are in for the back 9 too. So the front 9 is totally playable, including the one that goes over the water. I don't know how many of you guys, well, Kurt, I don't know if you, did you notice it? I don't know if you walked the one that's right by the park, but, they last weekend went out and, they're gonna throw from, there's that, ephemeral wetland area that's right by where they used to do the maple tree cutting, or sap demonstrations. They're gonna actually be throwing across that to a goal, to their tee, or not their tee, I'm using the wrong term, sorry.
basket.
Basket, thank you. So, and they're also gonna have a drop point. So if you don't want to throw your discs across the wetlands, because if you throw them into the wetlands, you're not gonna find them, you can go to this other part, and it's a drop point. You start from there with one stroke.
Penalty, yeah.
Yeah. So those people who are not very good are not going to want to throw across their discs and chance of losing them. So you'll move over to this other spot where you get a straight shot to it. You're not really throwing over the wetlands unless you throw it way like crazy, and then, well, you get what you deserve, and you'll take one stroke. So, but I helped them out, and Joe helped us out by getting all the buckets, and then I had a guy who was doing community service, and we mixed all of the bases for the baskets into cement and set them in cement already, and then I hauled them out with the tractor to the bridge for the back 9, and I had dropped them at all the spots for the other 9, and they were able to come in and put all of them in place, so that,
The ones in the back part.
yeah, so that would leave them with, because that was one of our big concerns, is getting it in before the frost, because they can still work on the places after frost, but digging holes for the baskets was not going to be easy. So these guys kind of busted butt, got a couple buddies, went out there, and put all of their effort into getting the front 9, which is what I asked them to have done. And then there is hole 4, 5, 6, and I think it's 12. So there are 4 done in the back. They're working on 7 right now. They're hoping to, this winter for sure, get the rest of the holes in. Some of the ones in the very back, I know if you've walked it, are really kind of rough. So that's the state of the course.
So there's only 4 that they haven't put in yet?
5.
5.
So there's four in the back that are done, 5 they have, so yeah, there's 5. So,
Wow. Good. Ahead of schedule.
yeah, they're way ahead of schedule.
Yeah, that's great.
They're great guys, like I said. So there's that, and then we had talked about at the last meeting the need for merchandising for the thing, and I started working on it, and what I did with my sheets for this stuff.
I'll share one with you. Yep.
I think the thing that's most important for, well, actually, here, I'll let you guys pass it. How's that? Oh, give me one, if you don't mind.
If I can get it apart.
Yeah, I know, I couldn't get them apart. That's the problem, not being able to raise your fingers to get them napkin.
Make it sponge.
Exactly. So I think the thing that's probably the most important is we talked about doing a wristband system. It's something the guys think would be kind of cool. You guys all know those plastic wristbands that
Yeah.
people wear, and not everybody wears them, but like some of the golfers, they get them at other places. They hang them on their golf bags. And so I went out and we priced wristbands in a solid color. And these were the top 3 places that I looked at. Rapid wristbands would be nice, except for they would all have to be one color. The other 2 places, wristband.com and 24-hour wristband, they could do 4 different colors. I don't want to put a year on it. I just want to put something that, like, supporter of Sorensen Park Disc Golf or proud supporter of Sorensen Park Disc Golf on them. Maybe even the moose, real small in the middle. and we can do it either embossed or printed on. I think printed on, it's eventually going to wear off, but I think it's kind of cool because it makes it stand out a little more. Where embossed, they're, you know, it's down in there. So, but I was thinking if we could do the 200 of the 4 colors, probably from wristband.com, you see they'll give us an extra 100 wristbands. So then we would get 300, and we could do those in 4 colors. And so then I would try to sell 1 color per year until we use that color up. So like say the first year would be red.
Kind of like the beat the tags.
Kind of, yeah. So, and we would sell them for $20. So we would sell 2022s. We'd start selling them as soon as we got them. And it's a totally voluntary thing, but talking to a bunch of the disc golfers who've been out there and stuff, they wouldn't mind giving that money to help support the disc golf.
So you're saying a wristband for $20?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
$20
Per season.
wristband?
Is that what they generally go for? I don't know.
Some places charge you to play disc golf, some don't. So this would be in lieu of us charging anything, and you don't have to have one to play.
No.
It's just a good way of showing that you support the park. You support that disc golf course. So.
Has there been discussion then with the Flint Flyers about the pricing? I'm just curious.
Yes, I talked to a bunch of the guys at the tournament. Some of them were Flint Town Flyers, some of them are not. We, on a pretty regular basis, now have people stopping by the nature center and asking about the disc golf course and where it is and can they play it. And so, you know, I question them, hey, would you buy a wristband for $20 to show you support the park? And they're like, yeah, sure. You know, so I think it's a good, gives us a good opportunity to try.
Could these then be tied into, let's say, a tournament? So they could be a little bit more specific, whatever the Flint Flyers tournament would be for that year, it could say,
We could give a wristband, but what we do for the tournaments is we do a disc.
oh, gotcha.
So, and it would have our logo and it would say Sorensen Park Disc Golf, or it would have something designed on it and say Sorensen Park Disc Golf. So that's worth a lot more money to them. That's actually like a $20 prize.
Okay, and so would these be for sale then in the gift shop area of the nature center?
Yes.
So somebody would have to be there working that day to,
Oh, yeah, yeah. We would have them from now on. Once we got them, we would start selling them. And we would say, like, whatever color I picked, we would say that was the color for 2022. And then the next year we would bring out another color and say, you know, if you'd like to support us, you know.
yeah.
So,
So are they buying the wristband or is it a donation?
It's-
The wristband shows that they donate.
yes, basically it's a donation and the wristband shows that they donated.
I didn't know if it mattered tax-wise or anything. I'm just curious.
No, yeah, you're right. If they can itemize, then that, yes, they could write it off as a donation.
Can we put this off until next month, again, and talk to the Flyers, just to see what they're, so that we know how they feel about the $20?
I suppose.
I thought you said you already had discussed with them? Or?
I had discussed with several of them that this was an idea to help support the thing, and they all said they didn't have a problem. And we're not, like I said, we're not going to require you to have one to play. We're just going to encourage you to have one to support the disc golf area.
And it sounds like it's something that the players are used to.
I don't know that they necessarily everywhere have this, but yeah, I mean,
We
you
see
know.
them hanging on their gear and whatnot.
Yeah,
like you
yep,
said,
yep,
so
yep.
It's something that other,
Yeah, I bought a disc, and I had one that came with my disc that says Innova, which is a disc company. So it was just an extra little thing I got with my discs, but
And you're gonna wanna have them done by the time December rolls around, so we
Comes
can
around,
have
yeah,
them
that's true.
so I can
available
start
for
selling
the
them.
2022
Yep.
season, so.
Yep.
Well, I'd like to entertain the motion that we go ahead and have Tony order these through wristband.com so we get the 100 extras and get the multiple colors so that we're ready for 2022.
So moved.
Well, you have a second?
I'll second.
Tony, take roll, please.
Sure. McBride,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Feeny,
Yes.
Grugo,
Yes.
Miskovich,
Yes.
Hutchins,
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna buy some wristbands. Okay, we're gonna move on to new business. So new business, to start with, it's gonna be me. Many of you know, or you don't know, I took a trip in October to go visit my parents, and it opened up my eyes to a few things that are going on. And I'm probably going to be having to make some more trips to Alabama and either try to move my parents up here, or I might have to think about a move to Alabama myself. That's the bad news. The good news is I was blessed with a new job opportunity that's coming up very soon. But it puts me in a bittersweet position because I most likely will not be able to fulfill my obligations as chair. As many of you know, I tried during the summer to make trips out to the park. I cleaned up garbage and, you know, this, that, and the other. And I unfortunately had to make the decision that I am going to have to step back and relinquish my seat as the chairman of this board. I still would like to be a part of this board. But in doing so, I'd like to make the motion that we place Kurt Miskovich as the new chair. I spoke with Mr. Miskovich at length. He has a lot of ideas. He has time, which is a valuable commodity. He walks these park trails probably more than John Love. If you're watching Mr. Love, what you doing? I apologize. I enjoyed being the chair for the last year. Very proud to hold that title. But sometimes life gets in the way.
Do what you gotta do.
So, so with that being said, again, I'd like to make the motion that Kurt becomes the new Parks Commission chair.
Can I support that motion then? I think Kurt would be excellent, and I think the whole idea of having somebody who's available during the day to be part and involved with it, not to take away your free time, Kurt, but, I appreciated what Sean did, being able to be around to do things during the day, which, I can't do, so I'd like to see that continue to have someone that can give a helping hand during the day. So, and sorry on the one part there, but I'm glad to hear about the new job, better hours for you, coming back to the daylight. That's that'll be good for you. So I'm glad to, sorry about the other half of it though.
That happens. I guess at this point I would ask if there's, he's seconded it, but are there any other comments at this point in time?
I just wanted to say that I think, even though you were brand new and probably really didn't have much of an idea of what you were doing, you've done
Still
a really
don't.
amazing job.
So.
You really have.
Okay, so we got a motion on the floor. We got support. Tony, could you take roll?
I do have a question. I don't know
Oh,
what the
sorry.
procedure is. Is there, discussion for other nominees? Is it just
That's
a-
why I asked if there was
Okay.
any other comments or discussion.
Okay. I believe Donna McBride to be a good candidate. Donna has been a faithful servant on this commission for many years. and in many other ways, shows up for activities, also volunteers her time, and takes good care of the park without, what I would consider to be overstepping her bounds or, creating controversy. So I, at this point, would like to see a motion to nominate Donna to take over this chair. So I don't know what the procedure is for,
Well, what we'll do is we'll do a voice vote as to, when your name is called, state the name of the person that you would like to vote for as chair.
is that how that goes?
Okay.
I'd like to make a comment. Donna McBride's been a volunteer and on Parks Board for about 4 years. She understands the legislative and administrative division of this. She's available during the day and night, and she's local. Nothing to take away from any other people on the board, but after a while you find out, as you found out, Sean, how to be a chair. And at this time, I'd like to see Donna, take the next step and become a chair.
Okay.
So are you seconding my motion?
Yes, I'm seconding your
Okay.
motion.
Thank you.
So Tony, if we could take roll, and when your name is called, state the name of the person that you would like to vote for the new chair.
Okay. Feeney,
Kurt?
Hutchins,
Donna?
Miskovich,
Myself?
McBride,
Myself.
Coster,
I'm gonna go with Kurt. It's a really hard decision, guys. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it, just vote your heart.
Okay.
Martin,
Donna?
Grugel.
Kurt.
Kurt it is.
Okay, with Kurt being voted the new chair, I'd like to step down and invite Kurt to take center seat here. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
I'll be filling somebody's big shoes.
Not that big.
Okay, I got the same size. Well, thank you. I haven't done this before, so I will try to do my best. If I'm doing or stepping out of bounds,
Can I ask you guys to just switch your name? I'll switch them for you.
please feel free.
It looks like Sean.
People are watching and they want to know who it is that's speaking.
That's fine. Thank
And
you.
then I'll get them fixed for the next meeting.
So I guess I start going with the next.
Yeah, you start going with the next thing, but let me tell you something. Don't be
Go ahead.
afraid with the gavel, because it's a lot of fun.
Don't do what?
You can hit that thing every
Yeah, don't be
No,
afraid of the gavel. It's a lot of fun.
The next agenda was having the main agenda maintained by the Park Commissions Board. The only reason I was suggesting this was because of the issues we run into with people not getting the agenda when they said they were supposed to get it. So I'm just trying to alleviate some issues that maybe we won't run into later. If that was all I was trying to suggest. It was more of a suggestion than anything else. So,
But you're saying the board, but I still think you need one person in particular.
Well,
Regardless of the situation of getting it, or not, I think you need one person to be on that.
And I think that's an administrative duty.
okay,
I do.
Yeah.
that's fine.
And I think it may or may not have been an issue regardless of the situations. Emails not going through, packets not arriving, it doesn't seem to be an issue for most of us, and so I believe that's an administrative duty.
Okay, that's,
However, Kurt, I will meet with you on that Wednesday to go over the agenda. I always called Sean. I
okay.
called Joe.
Yep.
So my job is then to bring it to you and say, these are the items I've received and what I need on the agenda. Are you aware of anything else? Okay?
So when you guys email the agenda items, do you email that to the chairman and Tony at the same time?
No, I believe just Tony, right?
It can be that way. It
It
doesn't
could
matter.
be.
Just have it both emailed to both of us, that way
Why not?
we have a check and balance there.
Why not?
Yes, Joe?
One comment on on that, it's, like Tony said, it was the chair and her. And also, under the agenda things, that if I want to submit something on the agenda, I want to see it on the agenda and what I'm looking for.
Right.
Is the sky blue? Is the ocean green? So it gives her a chance and everybody else a chance to do their homework.
Right.
Instead of leaving everything open-ended and going, what does that mean?
Right.
So that's part of the agenda cleanup we need to do,
Okay.
as far as a chairperson and Tony, and us. If I want to state something on the agenda, I want to give everybody guidance on, what's Joe thinking about? Potato chips? No, here's what Joe's thinking about. So it gives
Here.
everybody a chance to research things and put in their 2 cents worth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
when
like
they
the
come
pump
to the
last
meeting,
month Would've been nice
that-
to know what that was about.
Yeah.
it's,
Would've been nice to know.
geez, I hate being interrupted.
Sorry about that, Joe, I apologize.
So that's what I'd like to see is a little bit of an agenda cleanup. So when you do put something on agenda, you want to be heard or
Clear, yeah.
recognized.
Yeah.
That way we have a chance to go, okay, we know where we're going or how we're getting there.
No, I agree.
I
Yeah,
agree.
okay, that's the only comment I have on that.
So can we move to the next item?
Yep.
Okay. So basically, we're gonna skip, we're just clarifying what we're doing for the agenda then. Is, okay.
No action is needed.
Okay, yes. C, determine create plans for disc golf for the next fiscal year. Tournaments, maintenance plan. That's just kind of what I was looking for what are we gonna be doing for the next year. Since I new to this, that's just something that I think that we need as the board to know what's going forward. If you're talking about legislative to administrative, I would think that's something I'm looking from Tony then to produce from us.
Yes,
So
Yes.
everybody's agreeing with that.
Yeah.
yes.
Can I get a motion then that this is something that we should be expecting from Tony going
We're
forward?
giving, by making the motion, we're gonna be giving her guidance and saying, here's what we want to have.
So I think we need more clarification of what we're looking for.
Well,
What?
not only that, Kurt, you're also, next month, oh, that's really loud. Let me back up. You know, you never talked, did you? Because this is really loud.
You sound fine.
We got Flint Town Flyers coming in next month too, so
Right.
that'll also give you some more clarification as to this as
Right.
well.
We don't have a December
We
meeting
don't
though.
have a
We just
December
have a
meeting.
December meeting.
So it'd be the January meeting.
Right.
January, yes.
Joe, I would disagree. You as a board can expect me to come up with a maintenance plan and some plans to show you.
Yes.
You're not giving me guidance by
No, we're not
asking
guiding
me
you.
to
We're-
do that. All you're doing is asking for that, which I
Yes.
appreciate the
Yes.
advance notice on.
Exactly, that's what we're looking at, cleaning up the agenda items and stuff. We tell her what we, as the majority rules, we tell her where we wanna go.
Right.
And this is where we wanna go, and she'll produce
Yep.
documentation to show, the plans for the next, for next fiscal year for the golf and tournaments, maintenance plan and everything else. Because she knows what it takes to maintain
Right.
it. And we might have a little bit of input on saying, well, okay, yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah, we're going in the right direction, we're building it up.
Right.
Would this include having, people have talked, about having like a separate account just for the disc golf course, or maybe not whole account, but something to differentiate between the disc golf and the rest of the park?
Well, so it would become a line item on the next budget, I would assume? So you would have a line item for disc golf, and you would have a line item for both disc golf revenue and disc golf expenses? So then,
Which would include the
which would
maintenance.
include the maintenance and stuff, would then be
Right.
billed to that account.
So that way we're not smudging anything. We have our general fund, we have the disc golf
Right,
fund, so we know what's going on.
Well, that's the main
That's
thing
what I
about
was
charging,
thinking.
when we
I didn't know
talk
if it
about
was-
charging things, this stuff, we charge them over to the beach for
Right.
so many X many hours. we charge the mower to the ball diamonds for the ball. And then we charge Sorensen Park for the mower for the rest of the park, which is the entrance,
Yeah.
the picnic area, and around where it doesn't involve the
The ball field.
ball fields. So that's what, everything's charged against that mower. So we know that, okay, 2.5 hours of that cost for the mower went to the beach, and 5 hours went to this or that. That way we know exactly what our initial costs are for doing each thing, and that's what Tony does. Am I true on that, Tony?
I don't think we have been not in the past broken it down
No.
quite that far, but I do break down like maintenance. I
Yeah.
split it between them,
Okay.
where like, so if the ball, if the lawnmower needs maintenance and it's used more at Soren, so I'll split it between the two accounts and stuff. I can break down hours for use, and I can pretty much tell you what they are. I spent 5 hours in the last 2 days mowing the beach.
I don't think we need that much.
It was really kind of fun.
But that gives everybody an idea
Yeah, as long as we have
of what it
records, that's
takes,
we need
the
to know
true
that.
cost of everything.
Right.
The true cost of everything. Because right now we're mowing the beach, let's say we mow it once a week in the summer.
Right.
Now we're mowing it 2 or 3 times because we're chopping leaves.
Yeah,
So that way you know that what's going on and why that charge was there.
right.
That way you get the true cost of things
Yep.
in each of our departments.
Yep, I agree. Sounds good. So I'll go to new business D, create teams for the next fiscal year such as planning, etc. I don't even know if we need to do this. This was just basically me being new, trying to understand what's going on, trying to get a handle on information going on. Maybe we can table this and bring it up at some other point once I have a better idea of what's going on. Just to see how things progress.
Well, in the past, I'm not much for committees.
Yeah, I know that.
And this is a committee of 7
Right.
or a team of 7, and everybody has their input. And this is not rocket science, so the planning of what we're going to do is pretty much set at our meetings. So we don't have to go and find out all this and that and everything else.
Yeah.
And anything we want to plan, we get direction from our administrator, say, what's this going to cost us? Go out for bids, or do this or that, or whatever else. So I think that the 7-person committee we already have developed works real well. At least it has in the past.
Okay. We'll go on to E then. Expand the number of park commission meetings to 12 once a month.
Can I speak on that?
Yes.
We kind of went over that before you were here, and we don't really have to add them, because if we need them in those months, we can call emergency meetings.
Special meetings.
There's
yeah.
special meetings.
Yeah.
And so if it comes down to that,
Is there a reason we don't do them?
because there's just not all that much
Nothing.
going
Saves the
on
parks
at
money
that
as well.
month,
Okay.
in those months.
Um,
And a lot of it's like holiday, people.
no, I know. I understand.
So if there's an emergency meeting, that's different because it still saves the parks money. I think, right? We don't get paid for that.
Yeah, you still get paid for
You get paid
emergency.
for-
You don't get paid if you're doing workshops.
And we can always save that money for something else.
Do we get paid for those meetings or not? I'm
You
sorry.
get paid for per meetings. You don't get paid for workshops. You get paid for meetings or special meetings.
Okay. So the meetings we don't attend, we don't get paid for.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Also, the village parks have dropped a couple of their, because I'm on village parks, we've dropped a couple of our months because it's really no business, no planning, because everything's pretty much, like with the Dickens Festival and holidays and everything, Halloween and everything else, it's pretty well set. And our cleanups, we got our cleanup dates all set up ahead of time, so we usually know.
The only
So-
thing that I'm thinking is like with the disc golf, it would have been nice if we had a December meeting, because then we could actually meet with the Flint Flyers. Would it be easier to drop meetings that we don't need and cancel those, rather than say we're gonna have 12, and then we find out in December next year we don't need it and cancel it? Wouldn't that be better?
At this point, you can't do anything until your next year anyways, because these were already published,
Yes.
but,
Yeah, because we already have our meeting schedule sent out.
So can't we schedule all 12, and then if we find we don't need it or we have nothing on the agenda, we can cancel those meetings?
We'd have to do that next year.
you'd have to do that next
No,
year.
yeah, I just-
Can I suggest that you table this and bring this back up
Yes.
after
January.
seeing whether, well, no, we'll, in like May, so before we go to post for next year, we'll
Yeah.
talk about the number of meetings again, if that's, you know,
There's certain times of the year we look at certain things, like I say, with the village parks, we do the same thing.
Okay.
At certain times of the year, we say, hey, guess what, we gotta start planning, we gotta start doing this and that. And after a while, everything becomes pretty much organized and
Right.
just keeps going, you know?
Yep.
What month do those get posted?
May.
In
no, we post it in, at the end of June for July,
Okay.
so.
So,
Our fiscal year starts July 1st, so our meeting year starts July 1st as well. So in May, I'll put it back on the agenda. Kurt, remind me to put it back on the agenda. I did it last year anyways, to discuss, so we can discuss meeting days and all of that stuff. Mhm.
We'll go to F then. Recommend that Josh Murphy produce the park commission meeting on YouTube with the understanding it'll be paid it's actually $25 per hour per meeting. So it's not just $25. I found that out later after this happened, when I was at the council meeting. The only reason I was thinking about that was just so Tony wouldn't have to be, if there was any issues or anything else like that, so.
It worked just fine tonight, didn't it, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
problem last month is that
Password.
the word where was
Yeah, I know.
included, and
Right.
there are 3 different ways to spell the word where. And when you say anywhere, I chose the most common use of anywhere, so,
No, I think.
Which
we
was
can
wrong.
I think we can skip that.
yeah,
I
so.
think that was fine
okay,
after.
what would it include when he says produce?
Well, basically just running all the
Just
set
doing,
notes,
just
yeah,
literally just doing this thing and then, okay.
yeah. And if there's any issues or anything like that, he checks how things are sounding and.
And sometimes it works and sometimes it don't, because we have it on Village ZBA that I'm on and Parks. And once in a while, it doesn't come through.
Right.
I think they've now changed it, because I think we went, I'm not even, I think with now the way they've set it up, it's much more bulletproof than the
Yeah.
way it used to be.
Yeah.
The problem wasn't with that, well, that's very slow, but the problem was with the camera, and they've replaced it, so.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we can just skip that then.
Okay.
Then we have G winter programs from Patrick.
Simple question, are we gonna have any?
Sure. I'll pass this out first. This is our next upcoming program that we're working on, which is we're going to, on December 16th, have people come out who are interested in making luminaries in the park, which are really cool to, you know, people like them around the holidays. We're going to do it a couple of different ways. We're going to have, oh, there is an extra one there. The extra one's mine, but that's okay. I don't need it. I have it. So basically, the idea of it is to make the luminaries for the littler kids. We're probably going to buy ones that they can just color, that are already shaped like a tree. And for the older kids, we're going to have some patterns, and they'll poke the holes along the patterns, or they can create their own patterns. And then we're going to, it'll be dark. It'll be dark before it starts, but it'll be dark, and we're going to go outside and line them along the road, and so that everybody can see how cool they are. Ask people if they want to leave them, or actually really suggest that they take them home, but give everybody the opportunity to walk and see them.
These are made with sandwich bags, Tony? Like,
Pretty much. You
Yeah,
get
let's see
you
if I
get
can
the
get
ones
some.
that are fire retardant.
Yeah.
Because if you do the regular sandwich bags, and you know, it depends. Because we've been talking about one of two ways. We could just do the regular sandwich bags and hand them one of the plastic little
Candles,
LED
yeah.
lights, candles, or we can do their fire retardant ones, and they can then take them home and do either. It just worries me that if they take them home and don't change the batteries and try to put a real candle in it, and it goes and catches something on fire.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, if we're
So
wanting them to take them home. you
So I
know.
want to do the fire retardant ones.
Okay.
So, but we'll have different designs, opportunities, and people will be able to do their own thing with it. I am cardboard sled race is scheduled for February 12th. You guys might want to put that on your calendar. I am working on a kite making workshop for March with a professional kite maker coming in and demonstrating how to some of his kites, and then having the kids actually make kites. He does this for a living, so we're trying to work it out with him.
When is that again?
That would be sometime in March. We're currently doing offering Girl Scout and Boy Scout workshops. We're working with a group now. I don't know if they're going to do 1 or 3 badge workshops, but we're going to.
Do you have like a calendar with this information rather than just trying to write it down?
I don't have one put together for this. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Maybe next month or
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Just so we have it. I mean, that'd be a lot easier than us trying to write it all down.
Right. Well, they'll go out. They'll be advertised like this will be going up
They wouldn't
tomorrow.
hurt just to, if there's anything that you've got coming up, if we could get like a schedule, just
Yeah,
to say
yep,
here's
yep.
what we got, going
Yep,
forward, so we
yep.
don't know.
Yep.
Could I make a suggestion? Maybe we have Sorensen Park somewhere on there?
Oh yeah. Is the address not on there?
No.
Okay, yep.
That would be,
Yep.
otherwise, very nice flyer. I like
So where's the flyer going out to?
We'll probably put it around town, but it'll be on Facebook.
Okay.
Which seems to be the biggest area for us for some reason.
Maybe
And
the information booth at the Dickens Festival.
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
it.
Yeah.
So, can we get it into the schools at all, or
We
is
can.
that-
I don't think they're doing that anymore.
They
Yeah,
won't.
that's
So
not
that's like a fine line, and I guess we have to decide how we want to fight it, because they do allow the village, or for the play day, they did allow flyers to go home. However, they tell us that they won't allow ours because then they have to allow everybody's.
Right.
So,
Well, you gotta treat everybody the same, you know?
well, it started with, they used to let our flyers go home, and then some religious right group wanted to send flyers home, and it turned into this real nightmare in the schools. What I've done in the past in schools is I'll print the flyers out, and we'll actually take them in, and they have a information table, I think, at all of them.
Yeah.
And so we put it on the information table, and parents can pick it up that way.
It might be a good idea too to just contact the PTO.
Okay, yep, see if they'll put it in their newsletters.
PTO put it in the newsletter, or there's pages, Facebook has a page for each one of the schools.
Right, I do send it on, we do include it on all of the schools' pages. So.
Another quick question. How many kids are you allowing for this? How many entries?
We haven't really sat down and totally figured that out. It's probably going to be 15 or 20, and if we have to extend it and do it another day, then that's what we'll do.
So you're gonna take anybody that,
It'll be the first people that sign up.
okay, but I mean, you're gonna take anybody who signs up, and then
Yeah,
depending on who, if you hit over the 20 or whatever your max is gonna be, you'll push it out another day.
yes,
Okay.
probably the next day. We'll see.
I noticed you got on here kids 3 to 103.
Yep,
Um,
so if they're 104, they can't come.
Joe, no luminary for you, bud.
Sorry, Joe. I just made it.
I don't take that personally.
I hope not.
I would,
Um,
I'm not gonna defeat him.
I'll hold them for you when we get out of here.
I've also been kind of playing with the idea of doing a winter kickball event, and seeing
What is kickball?
kickball.
We never played kickball? Oh my goodness.
No, because there's always everybody has different rules for kickball, so I just.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it would just be a fun game of kickball. It's not
Okay.
going to be all this big, It would just be like a family come out and play kickball in the snow, and maybe have a fire in a barrel that people could sit around I would love to have a bonfire, but we're within the village limits, so I think that would require a special permit.
Permit, yeah. Tony, is
You have to check with the fire chief.
Yeah.
Is
That should
Oakland
be
County
easy
coming
enough,
out
though.
to do?
Oakland County is not, they're not doing theirs. Well, this is what they said. We don't have the staff right now, Tony. We'll get back to you, but I don't think so.
Because I was wondering if that event could be.
Yeah, that would have been fun to be able to do the snowshoe event, but we don't own, I mean, snowshoes are expensive to purchase.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But, anyways, so those are the plans I have so far for the upcoming months.
Can I ask, I see when you put stuff on Facebook, it ends up on, I see it on Rose Township, Friends of Rose Township.
Yep,
I think probably all of us on the board here belong to one, if not all of the different groups in Holly. If we could pass that along, share it along with it, because, you know, that would be helpful, because, you know, when the softball one, you had it on there and I shared it on the others and there were quite a few people. that were like,
we share it on everyone that we're a part of. We share it on a lot, and what we do is we have a revolving system as to which ones they're going on
Right.
at what days, and so that we're not putting 6 things out at once. We're putting this out, and then we'll put this out, and then we'll go back and restart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yes, if you guys could share the events on your own pages and on to groups you belong to, the better it gets out there, the more people it reaches.
I was gonna say, I usually share our events on the Holly open discussion one.
Discussion.
We just share, we always share it there too, but
Yeah,
the
I
more
was
you
gonna
share
say
it, the
they're
better it is.
usually on there
Yeah,
already at
because
least once,
it's
so.
random on which ones you
Quite-
get.
Yeah, it's random on who sees what off of what
Right.
page.
So the more it's
Yeah.
out there gets shared,
Yeah.
the more you're
Yep.
likely to get somebody to see it that might not have before. Public comment? Members of the public can address the board once recognized by the chairperson. Comments are limited to a maximum of 4 minutes. The board may extend this time by up to an additional 4 minutes by majority vote. Prior to addressing the board, members of the public shall clearly state their name and address for the record. Do we have any public comment?
Tony, have you introduced your latest employee?
I
Is
have
everybody
not. I
there?
was going to do it under my report,
Oh, okay, sorry.
but thank you.
Board comments? Do I just,
You just go down the board and have whoever you want to.
Sean, do you want to say anything?
I said a lot of what I wanted to say when I addressed you guys, but thank you again for making me the chair for the last year. And real quick, Tony, I got an idea for an event. Okay, I don't know if you all saw it or not, but I got a 16-foot inflatable movie screen, projector.
Cool. It is.
Maybe we can do a movie at the nature center, a movie at the park, like Frosty the Snowman or something
So
like that.
the only thing I'm going to say to you about that is we have to rent the movie from,
Really?
yes.
Even if you're showing it for free?
Yes.
We showed Jaws.
We showed Jaws, and it cost us like $400 for the original Jaws, believe it or
Wow.
not, for a movie that was produced in the 70s.
But Sean, you could show your home movies. You could do like when you were a kid, when you were a little kid.
Was that the rental cost?
Now, the village used to do them on
You're
Battle Alley,
kidding.
and that's what they ran into.
They still do them on,
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Or some-
DDA does them or whatever,
Yeah.
but yeah, they pay for you have to pay for every one of those movies.
Yep.
I love that idea,
Yeah.
but if they catch you, it's a couple $1,000
Okay,
fine.
well, the screen's there if you guys need it, because I'm only using it at Halloween, and it was way bigger than I thought it was going to be. So that's all I
I
got
think
to
it's
say.
really
It was
a great
big,
idea.
yes.
Yeah, because the way we could have like a truck rally, or food truck rally, have a couple of food trucks there to, instead of just like popcorn. I think that's really a great idea.
Mhm.
I'm always down with free.
It's always sponsorship.
Don, is there anything you'd like to say?
Congratulations.
I think.
We just really need to keep this board going and maybe be a little more polite to people. We can always set Patrick next to me and I can hit him with a spoon if he don't behave himself.
As long as it's not
Metal or
together.
wood?
As long as
But
it's not together.
otherwise, I think things are going good and just wanna keep seeing it go that way. And no matter what, I still support the park, and I'm still here, and I still volunteer, and it's gonna take a lot to get rid of me, so.
Patrick?
No.
I just surprised to be sitting here after only 3 months or 2 months or whatever it is. Hopefully I can live up to the expectations that's been put up on me. And everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Courtney?
Can't think of really anything right now besides, are we still going to do the inventory?
Tony, did,
I have an inventory of the
Yeah.
beach that I had my staff do for you.
Right.
And it has been typed, so,
but the nature center is what you're talking about more?
I forget, I don't know what all we were supposed to inventory,
Yeah, just
but
everything.
barns, everything, yeah, I don't, we're gonna do that.
Right, okay, yes. So, do that, Commissioner?
Do you need help?
Yeah, probably all hands on deck would, make the work quicker, but
I think
it's
the
something
board,
else
it was
schedule.
Donna and Courtney and Kathleen, so it
Right.
would,
Oh, okay.
So we should, yeah,
Yeah, we should fulfill that.
and Tony, 'cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, it's not me, I'm just giving you keys.
Well, we don't know which is hers, she has.
I would tell you what's my stuff, but I don't.
that's what I meant, usually last without.
The same thing at the beach, like, my scuba gear got included, well, no, I take it off the list, it's,
Right,
so,
yep, sounds good.
anyways,
Uh,
Kathleen?
Kathleen?
Yep, thank you. Kurt, congratulations, Donna. Just wanna say that going forward, Sean, you did a great job. You really stepped up, you volunteered, you did everything above and beyond, so I appreciate that. Yeah, looking forward to just the next couple months. The cardboard sled races are amazing. My cardboard sled won last year. Same.
Who's the other one that stayed this week?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Great shot at Tony falling down the hill.
Hey, I use that all the, that's like,
It's like, she's got a poster of it.
I got a poster of it, an action poster.
So, and I'm looking forward to seeing, all the things that are going on with the disc golf course. I'm excited for that. I did have one question, Tony. I don't think this is probably the appropriate time, but here we go. I thought we had mentioned something about discs being made as well. I know we just.
I'm still
voted on
searching for a
wristbands.
company that will
Okay.
do that for us.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Just wondering about that. So, yeah, I mean, the kite building sounds amazing, and I'm just so happy that we are able to gather at this point, and able to get back to a little bit more normal family activities to look forward to. So I think we have great opportunities within the park with the disc golf and all these programs you're putting together for us, so thanks.
Joe?
Thank you, Sean, for sitting in that chair. It gets tough at times.
Tough, man.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
Yep. Trial by fire. Now you passed the flame on down to Kurt. Yeah. Kurt, congratulations.
Thank you.
Donna, thank you for putting your 2 cents worth in. I have a few maintenance projects coming up. I rebuilt the lights at the beach and made them cheap, LEDs. And it cost about, parts replacement was like $20 if you needed a new photo cell. Those have been running for 2 years now. Haven't had to do nothing to them. I got 2 more to do on the pole barn. I've got a set of discs that the township owns. They have to be made adjustable, which help us do the disc golf course. Plus, Tony's still borrowing my little baby set for the quad that I used up north. And I think this weekend, I'm gonna get a delivery on the trailer, my ATV trailer that I had up north. So we can use that for maintenance, because it's a heavy duty. And I don't wanna sit in my yard, I mean, I have no use for it, but I'm gonna let Parks use it. I built that from scratch.
Thank you, Joe.
It's a real booger. I smashed into trees with that. It's been proven, yeah, up at my farm. And that's about it. I'll be working with, on the village board, and we're gonna try and do some brainstorming on events. And I'm gonna be getting with you guys when we start doing planning to see what we can do together, with each other.
Right.
We can't mix our monies, but we can pump up the events, because they got a lot of parks around here, a lot of area too, so. You know, that's why I'm looking forward is, there's a bright spot coming up, it's 2022.
Yeah.
And I think we'll probably still have some more boosters, but hey, we'll make it. It's a lot better this year than it has been the last 2 years, so everybody hang in there and we'll get things done.
Agreed.
That's all I have to say. And Tony, thanks for all the chopping at the beach, because that, I know what a tough job that is, chopping leaves at the beach. I did it a couple years ago and it wasn't fun. That's when me and Tony get a little bored this winter. We're gonna start dropping dead trees on the entrance. I'm gonna give her on the entrance into Sorensen Park.
Okay.
There's some deadfalls, and I'm gonna give her a class in timber.
Yeah.
So that's about it for me.
Tony, is there anything you'd like to share?
Chainsaw, yeah. So director's report. I know that I think Joe is actually the only member of this board that served under Nancy Hunter, was a 20-plus year veteran of this board, and she unfortunately passed away this week. I would like to plant a tree or put a bench out in the park in honor of her. I always called her my Holly Mom. She, took care of me, and she'd always make sure that I was well fed on board meeting nights, and would just stop out to my office with stuff.
I guess we're slacking.
Yeah, that's right. No, she was just a wonderful woman, and I think she was either the first or the second woman ever on this board, and she brought a lot to the board.
Yep.
And I know I'm going to miss her. And it was kind of nice that in her obituary they actually listed her involvement with the Park Commission as one of the things that were important in her world. So, yeah.
Could I make a suggestion, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Instead of, planting a tree would be nice, but we got this golf course that a lot of people are gonna be using and whatnot. What if we were to put a little memorial plaque on one of the holes, maybe the first hole, since she was the first woman that you said served on this
I can't
board?
remember if Vicki Charette was before her or after her.
I don't-
I almost think I have to go back and
You
look.
have
It's
Does
just
it really
an idea.
matter?
You'd have to ask
Right.
Harvey
Yeah.
Sorensen.
Right,
Obviously important
right.
for-
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to inform Harvey today, and he
20
cried,
years,
so.
20 years,
Yeah, it was a long time on the board, so.
And she volunteered for everything. So
Yeah, it
she-
didn't matter, she was there, so.
Yeah.
Even in the last couple of years, she would come out and help me fill Easter eggs and stuff when I needed her, so. Or I could take them to her house and she'd cook me lunch and we could fill Easter eggs, but however. So that's, yeah.
Would it be weird, could we maybe as a board send like a plant, something for the family?
Well, so we as a board you'd have to do it individually, would have to donate. We can't as a board donate it.
Right.
It's just,
We can't use public.
you
money.
can't use public fund money for it,
Okay.
so,
We planted a tree for Fred Kenner out at the farm stand.
yeah,
So it's happened before, but,
so.
and I think
Nancy was really into, well, actually, like the hosta plants that are down at the beach, they came from her hostas.
Oh.
So, and that, she was always into flowers and stuff, and so, and silhouettes. And actually, one of the things I'm thinking about doing for the disc golf course is, and I talked to Joe about this, not doing the major moose silhouettes,
not the big one.
but doing a smaller silhouette of a moose. And so when you come out of hole 3, you have to walk to the back of the park. So I'm thinking about putting a sign there that says hole 4 this way, hole 13 or whatever it is this way, and overlook. So trying to meet John's needs for signs, even though I went out and looked and there are signs everywhere out there. I even took pictures of them, but he's not here for me to show them to. But anyways, that's one of the things I'm thinking about doing for the disc golf, because I think it would be fun.
It's one of me and Tony's added.
Yeah, it's one of
winter
Joe's
projects.
new added prizes or things that I asked for him to do. His honeydew list. Don't worry, Kurt, you'll get yours. I'm just kidding.
Great.
I just wanted to ask if commissioners are going to request information from me for meetings, if you guys could do so in advance, like less than a week. It really doesn't give me enough time if I have something else going on.
Well, I think that's what we discussed about the agenda.
Well, yes, but if you wait until you put it in on the agenda, it makes it tough on me. Simply because I have other things, like we have the audit starting next week, and so I have stuff I'm trying to get prepared for the auditors. And I was on vacation the week before, and so I came back to do the agenda, and it just makes it tough. So I appreciate, Kurt, you putting something on there, this agenda for asking me for next meeting. But if you want something from me, I'm more than happy to give it to you. If you could at least give me 2 or 3 weeks, I would appreciate it. It just makes it easier on me. And then I wanted to clear up some confusion from the last meetings. I'm just going to pass these out. Pass it down, please. Just make it easier, I guess, to pass them down. What I'm passing out is a copy of Mr. Feeney's request to be on the agenda. You'll see it circled with the date and time that it was received. That it was received on Thursday, not on Wednesday. The second one is my response. I did respond to his agenda request with a copy of what the policy states.
Do we
So-
really need to bring this up?
I just think it needs, well,
And did I not say?
No,
Pat, it's my turn to talk.
I did say that I was in error.
I just felt like I needed to bring this out because I wasn't purposely setting out to make Pat not on the agenda. That's what I'm trying to point out. I wasn't purposely setting out to hurt anyone, but it was stated at the last meeting that I don't get his emails and I don't respond by emails, and I'm just giving you proof that there are emails, and
Well,
I'll leave it at that.
Exactly, you told me you didn't get my email.
No,
Yeah,
come
that's
on,
just
come on.
kind of interesting.
No.
It's like, yeah, really, it
We
is
don't
enough.
need this. This
It
is
is.
really being immature.
And next thing, I want to thank Joe. He came down to the beach. He climbed in the hole and turned the water off.
My neighbors thought they were gonna call 911 because they see me disappear in the ground.
Yep. And
Again.
Jesus.
he's always there and helping out with stuff. And this time, let's knock on wood. It was the fastest we've ever turned the water off and the smoothest we've ever turned. I should shut up right now.
And winterized.
And winterize the building. You know, Courtney keeps coming over to sign things for me when I need her to for the checks. And, Donna, who's always there to lend an ear when I need something. I just want to make sure that, and Kurt's been stopping by a lot and checking on things, and I appreciate that. And I think that the disc golfers, we need to find a way to thank them. And what I'm going to suggest is for the January meeting, I put these together for the park, but I wish I'd brought one. Shadow box with their flyer and one of the discs from the tournament and a picture of them with me. They always want me in their pictures. I don't know why. But anyways, and so we can hand that to them as a thank you to them for all of their hard work. I also think that I can't do this, but the village does a Family of the Year, and it's an award they give out to people who live within the village limits.
It's run through the chamber.
Oh, I guess the Chamber of Commerce does now.
And they're gonna take applications.
Okay, well, the more people who nominate them, the better, I think. These guys have put in hundreds and probably thousands of hours. Them and Alan and David and why am I drawing a blank on his wife's name?
Can you send us the names? And
Sure,
stuff so we
yep,
could-
absolutely.
that'd be-
And their addresses, yep.
Yeah.
And we'll give you the contact for the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
so that
we can
we
nominate.
can find a way to, like, thank them for all their hard work.
Well, just to clarify, you're not saying to nominate them for the family of the year, but the
No, I am saying to nominate them for the families of the year. Yeah,
And these guys are Hollyites. They're
they're
homies.
both they're homies. Yeah,
Yeah.
they both
For that, they
That
did
is
a lot
a
of work.
huge
Yeah.
improvement.
Yeah.
you know.
And it can be person of the year or family of the year, because some people don't have, a whole family left. But yeah, these guys have,
Right.
rain or shine, they've been out there, and it ain't been fun.
No, not with all the rain we had this year.
Yeah, I guess it's a chamber thing now.
It's pretty amazing, they got the disc golf pretty much done before they got the road to the center of town done.
Yeah, yeah.
True as that. So,
It's so true, look how many there are supposedly working on that thing.
how many times? Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
And I think we're supposed to have a mild winter, so maybe people will come out
Yeah,
and
maybe.
tour our disc golf course,
Maybe.
because it'll be walkable, so. yeah.
I'm actually I'm trying to talk them into helping me schedule some kind of fun 9-hole tournament or something for the
Short
middle
nine.
window.
Yeah,
Just a local thing, So,
a Muddy Moose tournament.
the
There
Muddy
you go.
Moose tournament.
Now, there's a young lady sitting here I've not met.
Oh, yes. And this is Teresa Rogerson. She is our new senior aide, as they call them. Unfortunately, Linda Faust completed her 2 years of service, which actually was 3 years of service to us. Nancy will be leaving in December, December 10th, I think, or something like that. So Teresa is our newest. She just started a couple of weeks ago. She's wonderful. She has lots of experience. Welcome to the parks, Teresa.
Thanks.
And, yep. And then, Kurt, if I can't figure out how to get the modem working, I'm going to call you. So we tried before with the one we had, but it didn't seem to work with their protocols, blah, 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 blah. It's set up so that the only place you can find one is through AT&T.
Yeah, it's figured, yeah.
Now,
So.
1 out of the 6 doesn't work.
1 out of 5, yeah. Let's hope.
Yeah, 1 out of 5 would work.
Opening another box.
What do I do now?
All right, so now you call the
You call the
time
meeting
and
adjourned.
Adjourn the meeting.
Time's 8:28, adjourning the meeting.
Boy, you're like a pro at that already, Kurt.
No, I need a lot of help.
No, that gavel thing, you got that
What's
down.
that?